This is just the beginning. Teens' mental health in 2021. Is the mental health of our children like the tip of an iceberg? Because we only see a small part of their behaviour.
When we come back at 1 o'clock, we're going to look at body image and the dangers of social media.
The rise in self-harm is a really clear indicator for me, because that's students who we wouldn't normally see with concerns, and they're trying to internalise it. And it's only that we're discovering those students very slowly. We're noticing changes in patterns of behaviour. We're noticing when they have a PE lesson actually that they have got physical harm. In the boys, it's expressed more as anger, it's punching walls, it's a behaviour that you wouldn't necessarily see from students. Some of our students who would never have exhibited this kind of anxiety before.
Mental health is a person's condition looking at their psychological and emotional well-being. And when we're looking at teens' mental health specifically and teaching them, we look at the changes they go through during adolescence, their relationships, bullying, and all the ways to improve their emotional intelligence. A typical classroom of 30 15-year-olds, this is what we'll see. Out of the 30, 9 of them would already be suffering because they'd already been bullied. 7 out of the 30, they're already self-harming. In addition to the conventional cutting, we're talking about anorexia, eating disorders. We're also talking about risky and unsafe sex. 3 out of the 30 have a diagnosed mental health condition. 1 has lost one of their parents through bereavement. And this is even before we go into the classroom. Young people suffering from exam stress, exam nerves, poor option choices, poor eating habits, and the impact of that on their mental health and well-being, relationships and broken relationships, and complex family structures. And if you can imagine, this is what our children are bringing into the classroom.
I think what's sad is that mental health is viewed as a different category. I mean, we're talking about the brain here, one of the most important organs in your body, and we're talking about a brain issue. Our brains need help. Are you going to say, if a person has a heart condition, you're not going to treat that? It's not a priority. There's no difference. Mental health, it's the whole human being. That's just the bottom line. And to view it any differently is just doing a disservice to humankind.
It's good to come together and raise awareness and expose the importance of mental health, and that it should always be balanced with everything else. In order to have a balanced lifestyle, your mental health also is a priority to be keeping in mind.
If someone told you that they're feeling conscious about their body, who are the people that you can speak to?
We've seen every single year groups of students that have emerged from this with some kind of anxiety or depression that would not have been there otherwise, that there are many students that need structure, who need that social interaction, who have really found lockdown very difficult. And as a school, we can put the structure back in place, but we can't make up for that lost time. We're stretched. It's a very difficult situation. Students need that support. They need to know that we care about them. They need to know that there are people that they can speak to if they are feeling low. We've seen a huge increase in students who are self-harming. We've seen a huge increase in students who are not sleeping properly. And that has a huge impact on education. That has a huge impact on their behaviour in the classroom.
Coming from the United States, I feel like we're so different. Mental health is a huge priority here. I've been through a lot with both of my children. They're now adults and they're doing well, but we've had a lot of mental health things happen, and we've sought help very early on. It's been life-changing and life-altering, and it just seems so obvious to me. It needs to be a priority. People need this now more than ever, and the repercussions of this after, when this is all over, are going to be far greater and far more profound. If we can get people help now, it's going to help our world much more down the road. I was on something where a therapist spoke who's on the front lines of the pandemic with the healthcare workers and all that. And she was saying, we're not even seeing the tip of the iceberg now. The trauma that this is doing now, we're not even gonna see the fallout of it. And the help needs to start yesterday.
Sometimes you don't even realize you need a help. You can be just in a little drama shop, and then you just realize, oh my God, there is something wrong with me. It's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to turn to somebody. And then you realize that you're not the only one. There are many people who are the same and they feel the same. It makes it less scary for young people to turn into the drama shop, because when you already take into psychologist or to another therapy, they already think, okay, there is something wrong with me for sure. But when you realize something else within the group work, thinking this is okay, I'm not the only one, there are many people like that, so it's less scary, and it's you're just thinking then this is actually okay to be not okay.
There is often someone that always has an issue but they're very quiet and don't feel confident to speak up about it, and I think having those group workshops, sometimes someone else can touch upon something and actually say, oh, I'm not the only one because I felt like I was, or actually mental health isn't necessarily bad or wrong. Sometimes you just need a bit of guidance, and just having someone else share that problem can make you feel a lot better without even discussing it.
It was called a drama workshop, but it was just way, way more than that. I think that's a cute name for just an amazing safe space for kids to learn about relevant issues and to have people to talk to or an outlet and seek professional help.
Obviously now these are the kids that are, affected by the body image things, and, filter, like chiseling your jaw and contouring your nose and, boobs and everything. These are the ones that are really bothered by it. So it kind of it upset me to see how unconfident they are in themselves purely because of what they see on the TV. And we talked about Kim Kardashian, and they all agreed Kim Kardashian's body is fake. But at the same time, they want to look like that. So I said, so you want to look like a fake person? And they're like, yeah, because, she's beautiful and she is the face of social media, I guess. And they all want that face.
Wow.
Or that body. So that really took me, I was like, whoa, okay, this isn't good, to be honest.
We can't just assume everyone comes from the same household and everyone's bank account or parents' bank account is exactly the same. So who are we to then judge how someone looks and then to call them ugly because they can only do outfits? Has that made you guys think differently now?
Yes.
Who said yes? Would you like to explain why it made you think differently? It's a topic that is very personal to people. You're talking about body image, like your weight, your size, how people perceive you. It's interesting because the comments they were coming out with at the beginning, it was quite superficial because that's what they're taught, and it kind of hurt me to hear them say things that they were saying. Like, I know it was true, but it was just kind of like, oh, that's really sad. That's what you guys care about these days. Like, what about your heart and your soul and your character? And so obviously by the end, posing questions, they kind of had changed their mind, but they still hadn't, we hadn't got to understand why they had those views. I know there's an exercise that I add where I get them to pick a flaw that they don't like about themselves, and then I get them to turn it into a positive, or we discuss why that might not be as bad as they perceive it to be, like having spots on their face. Like, most likely it's because you're a teenager, you're going to grow out of it, you probably eat food that's not too great for you, things like that. It's very empowering. So the last time I did it in the school, I was a bit scared at first because I was like, they're not going to want to open up, but they did.
It was able to engage every single student, and there are students that don't normally engage with these things, and because it was quite interactive, because there was an element of fun to it, they were all able to engage with it. They felt like they were part of something. All of our students felt like they were able to have their voice heard, that if they were quietly taking on board what was being said, that there was an opportunity for them later to have contact with you. I think that was really important, that they could seek you out in their own time, that they had the opportunity to do that. I think it's really special.
When we were discussing about the mood map and how they feel during days and everything, they were really excited to share each other's thoughts and feelings, and the rest of the students were actually listening. They were all very excited. It was a really nice feeling to see them all engaged. It's very refreshing.
I prefer physical workshops because I rely a lot on body language and facial expression. And I think certainly with the schools, the videos can draw attention to children wanting to play up or be the class clown, if you like. But I wouldn't say stop them, because at the moment, whilst this is all we can do, the virtual workshops, then a little something is better than nothing at all.
The interaction from them, the energy that they were sending, it was just priceless when you were asking them to cheer up in the rooms and they were doing it and they were waving and, they were saying a nice nice words. It was just something incredible, and I didn't think that would work really on Zoom. So we still managed to interact with them. I think the energy was just incredible.
When the whole world went into a lockdown in March 2020, we had to stop running the drama workshops. We just didn't believe that we could have highly engaging workshops and that they could be done online. But we did our first virtual workshop in August 2020, and I was completely shocked at the success that we had. In December 2020, we did our first hybrid drama workshop with 300 students in London and facilitators and mentors from all over the world, including the United Kingdom, USA, China, Colombia, Canada and Bulgaria. Since then, we've already scheduled our next series of virtual drama workshops. I created Julian Campbell Foundation, or JCF, in memory of my brother Julian, who died from suicide at the age of 40 years old. And we just didn't see it coming. Trauma is something that I don't wish on anyone in the world. Since then, I've dedicated my life to work in schools, stamp out teen suicide, raise awareness about what mental health is, and empowering young people. Today, Julian Campbell Foundation has 16 facilitators, 35 mood mentors, 3 administrators, and 7 ambassadors, including amongst the ambassadors Tito Jackson, Denise Pearson, Glenn McCrory, and we have 3 trustees.
Jackie's been so adaptable, and the foundation have been so adaptable in being able to provide something at a time where it's really desperately needed. The students have come back from lockdown with such different experiences and such different needs, and as a school we aren't fully equipped to support them as much as we'd like to. So the Julian Campbell Foundation has been absolutely fantastic. Everything we've asked of you, you've been able to support us with.
JCF are doing amazing things. The fact that they're really trying to tap into children's emotional well-being and the sense of giving them a sense of worth, a sense of pride, to let them know that nothing is their fault and everything is there for them. To allow children that would never normally know, these are things that were never available to us growing up. There was no one to go to. The main thing at the end of the sessions that we did of the training for the children that we interacted with was be kinder to yourselves.
I think it's amazing. All around the world, people get to also experience and train and to be able to help another individual and to be able to get out of their comfort zone and do this, even with the comfort of their own home.
What we need right now is funding, so we can keep our virtual and hybrid drama workshops going, which is really impacting in a positive way our teenagers' mental health. So please help us so we can help our children and the future of our nation. Send us an email on jackie@juliancampbellfoundation.org, or please call me on 07791 688 083. Every financial support is highly appreciated. Thank you.
Just take that little first step and then it'll happen. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it.
Thank you, Chanel. Thank you, Chanel. You're welcome. I loved it. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.